welcome to another informative video with Christine from Aphroris Law. Today we want to talk about some warning signs that you are about to be a victim of auto fraud. So hi Christine, how are you today?
I am fine. How are you, Lizette?
Busy as always and trying to get some helpful information because these are things that we may be concerned about, or maybe a victim and we didn't even know it. So I hope you can help us out. What are some common and less common things to look out for if you suspect you might be a victim of auto fraud?
Well, I think one of the biggest issues has to do with financing. And because people they get invested in liking a car and want to buy it. They maybe, they're not sure if they have the means. And once they qualify for financing, they're really happy and pleased. And so they want to have the car and then, they may even drive that car away only to have the dealer ask them to come back and sign a new contract. And what I hear anyway, and what I've observed over the years in doing this is that most of the consumers that are involved in these situations don't realize that they can say no, because the way the dealer presents it is like, you have to sign this contract. You sign the first contract, you have to sign this contract, and it might have new terms that you might make it more costly to purchase the vehicle, and may even make it so that you really can't. Or they may change the terms so that you're actually paying more for the vehicle than was agreed upon because the contract has been extended. And sometimes they're not even sure what the change is. And so we call this is kind of a yo-yo deal because it's back and forth. And sometimes this might happen 3 or 4 times to a person. So I guess the takeaway from that is that you have a choice that, you sign one contract, you can seek to enforce that one, or you can just walk away and get your vehicle back. One thing that's associated with that is when you left the vehicle there, whatever trade-in vehicle, and they say, at least in Arizona, they say that it's already been sold and they can't sell a vehicle unless you have your financing in place. So your trade-in vehicle. So that would be something similar to that. You always have a right to get that back if the financing hasn't been finalized. Other things are related to the history. They'll represent all kinds of things, before the sale, that how wonderful it is that it was a one-person owner, and only to find out later that, it was part of a fleet of rental vehicles, and that it was licensed somewhere or registered somewhere else and maybe was involved in an accident. A lot of times what we see in terms of fraud or deception is a dealer will provide a Carfax report, knowing that the Carfax report doesn't have all of the history reported on the vehicle. Because what we see sometimes is that insurance companies don't report accidents and other until several months after. So if this car was in a recent accident, it may not be reported on that Carfax. So the takeaway from that is, Carfax reports can be helpful, but they may not have all the information that you need to know about. And often the only way of really finding that out is to do another Carfax. And the Carfax report, you always want to pay attention to when it was actually printed out and issued. Because sometimes that information isn't clear, although it should be and is available on the report. And when I say Carfax report, it's basically the title history of, there are different organizations that provide title histories. And in the blog that I actually created this month, we've identified places where you can go to get title history reports as a first step, really, when you're going to look at a vehicle, to really understand exactly what's being reported, but understanding at the same time that that may not include all the information about the vehicle.
Okay, that's really informative. Yes, because that was also one of my questions. I wanted to know, say the dealer says there's nothing wrong with the car, you buy this car and everything, you think, oh yes, I got my dream car. Within the first month, something breaks, or something happens which is not supposed to be breaking in a new car. And
No.
then what happens? And then you have the Carfax report, but it's telling you there's no, accidents or whatever on it. So now you say you should really like maybe get a new one to get it updated, or see if there's any
Yes.
incidents on the car.
And to have the vehicle inspected, it may be an investment of, a few $100, maybe $150 to just to have it gone through prior to purchase, and asking the dealer, can I do that? Or, I would like to have the car inspected before it's purchased. But that does, again, if it's go to a reputable, there are actually, I think, some repair facilities that will say that they do inspections, and making sure you have that in place before you go look, find a place that, is, has the time to do it, because you want someone to actually go through the vehicle and check all the, the major components to make sure that, nothing is being, hidden, because sometimes, defects actually will be hidden because people who are deceptive, know how to hide things, so that like maybe it will be okay for 2 weeks, and then after 2 weeks it will start showing problems. And in a lot of states in the United States, they do have protections for used car, like for a certain period. In Arizona, it's, that first 15 days is really key. But that said, if there's a problem that shows up in 15 days, the period is extended if that problem isn't fixed, after, within the 15 days or after, if it's the same problem that shows up. So there are warranty protection laws, federal and state, that protect consumers here in the United States.
Oh, okay, that's nice. I think in South Africa we do have some of those as well, but I'm not quite sure what they are or where to get them. So,
you could probably research them. You can probably
yeah. I should probably, because you see, guys, this is what happens if you don't do your homework and you just buy a car. It happened to me. Don't be gullible like me. Please do not follow this example.
What is that? Did you call me before you bought your car?
No, I didn't. I didn't. And this is exactly what happened to me, guys. This is exactly what happened to me. My car worked for like, I think 3 weeks tops, and then stuff started breaking.
Oh, no.
First the window didn't work, and then stuff in the engine started falling apart. So yeah, do not do like Lizette. Do not follow that. So yeah, do not trust people. That's the moral of the story.
Well, it's just, do your homework. There are people, we want to trust people, and there are people who act fairly, and they're unfortunately, in the car industry, there are a lot of problems that, and it's the #1 area, I think, of, consumer complaints in a lot of different jurisdictions, having to do with auto financing and repairs and so forth, unfortunately. But there are some, I'm sure, honest people out there doing a good job.
Yeah.
Just making sure you find them.
Making sure you find the right ones, and get your vehicles inspected before you buy them. That's the moral. So guys, I think we're going to make this a 2-part video, because our time is catching up with us. I have 3 interesting questions for our part 2 when we get back to our second video, guys. So please stay tuned and continue to watch our informative videos. And if this video was helpful, please like and share and subscribe. And we have an amazing newsletter that is very insightful that you also might like. If you wanted to sign up, let me know as well. Christine, it was amazing speaking to you as always. You are very helpful, and
thank you.
Provide very great information. So yeah.
Yes, I thank everyone, whoever is watching the video. I thank you too. And yeah, as you say, share it if you think it will be helpful for someone else.
Of course. Okay, guys. Bye. Bye, Christine.
Bye. Have a great day.
You too.